Do you remember the first time you ever performed?
Yes, I do remember the first time I ever performed. Actually,
Can you take us back to that? Like your first show?
I can.
What age were you?
I started rapping when I was 10, so I'm sure I was 10. I actually threw a block party on my street in the neighborhood. My daddy blocked the streets off illegally, everything. Like, we had hot dogs for the whole neighborhoods. Everybody ended up coming. And mind you, I was only 10 years old. We had bounce houses and other people's yards. Like, it was crazy. It was a big event, like, and we just did it, like, for the hood. And my daddy, like I said, he been into, like, drag racing and stuff. So he has this, like, real long trailer, and we turned it into a stage, and I just performed. It was lit. I guess my first performance was, like, my own show. Like, I set up the show.
Now, your first show, how long did you take practicing before it?
I don't think I practiced at all. Like, I go back and watch the videos, like, girl, what was you doing? You needed to practice. Like, I don't think I practiced.
Is there video of this publicly, or is this just personal video you have of it?
Actually, let me tell you something about that. It was just personal. We had it on this CD. But when we was on the rap game, we had to submit a lot of, like, personal pictures and just anything that had anything to do with your career, like, for the TV show. Somehow my stuff got lost, so I don't have that video anymore because it wasn't public. It wasn't, like, on YouTube or anything like that. It was just on that CD. But somehow my stuff, the only person, somehow got lost. I don't know. But it had a lot of, like, that was the only one of those items in that thing. They should run me a check for that, too. On top of the checks that's still owed.
Now, when it comes to your first show, do you remember, were you nervous?
Honestly, let me tell you the truth. I don't think I ever get nervous for performances. I get nervous for weird stuff. Like, when I'm in front of, like, I have to do a show in front of thousands of people, I'm never nervous.
Never?
Never.
You're
Not
being
even the
honest when you
first
say
performance. That. Honest. Never. It's like I don't know, it's like I kind of, like, black out and I go into this, like, whole other person, like, mode. It's like turn up mode. But I get nervous for, like, interviews. Like, right now I'm asleep, kind of nervous.
You're more nervous in an interview.
In interviews, radio interviews.
There's only 2 people in this room.
Right. I don't know why I do that, but.
But in front of 2,000.
I'm in, like, I love it. Like, when can I go on stage? When can I go on stage? But interviews, pretty much just interviews. I don't know. It's like.
What is it about an interview that gets you nervous?
I think I just think too hard. Like, I'm a Capricorn, so I don't just react off of emotion. Like, I think about everything that I do. So I'm like, don't say this. Make sure you word this right. You know what I'm saying? Or you gonna get cussed out in the car. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's just pressure. I overthink everything.
Now, since you overthink everything, I think you would be nervous before a show because you'd want to know, how is the crowd going to react to me? Are they going to react a certain way? You know, artists will visualize what's about to happen before it takes place. So is this going to go according to plan?
The only thing I can say, though, is I've never fallen on stage before, but I've, like, tripped, if that's a good word. I've, like, almost fell on stage. So I guess that would be the only thing I think about prior. I'd be like kind of like analyzing the setup of the stage. Like, look, that's right there. Somebody spilled something right there, so stay away from it. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, like, as far as, like, the crowd, whether or not they gonna feel me and stuff, I don't really be caring. Like, whatever, bro. Somebody in this crowd gonna go follow me on Instagram afterwards.
That first show, how many kids do you think you were performing in front of when you were 10 years old?
We had probably, like, 200 kids out there on the street. Like, we had that thing lit. Like, the police, somebody on our street called, because we shut the street down illegally. Somebody on the street called the police. The police come there and they like dapping my dad up, like, bro, this is so cool of you to do this for the kids, and like, so that backfired on them. But yeah, it was deep. It was a lot of kids.
Did you do other block parties after that, or was that like one and done?
I stopped. I didn't do any more block parties, but I started throwing parties in high school and middle school. I used to throw like teen no ID parties, and I had like a promo team, an all-girls promo team called Glamour Gang. Like, asked about us. We ran all, like, I'm talking about freshmen, alumni, seniors, everybody in our parties. Like, we had lit parties, booking artists, everything. Like, I've been making money before I was rapping. Like, let me tell you.
I see. Aside from the candy sales.
Oh yeah, and I was still trapping the candy throughout that whole process.
Now, that first show, what was the reaction to the crowd? Did everything go according to plan? As far as what you may have envisioned that night? What was the
yes, let me okay, like, as an artist, you learn to, like, it's gonna be a lot of edits, so you learn to, like, kind of ignore it, especially when you don't know them. It's like, I don't even know you, bro, whatever. But there was this one kid, he was like kind of hating in the crowd. Mind you, these is like all kids I know, so I'm like, bro, like, what is you doing? Like, I'm bucking on him on the mic. Like, it was crazy. I'm like, yeah, I'm on the mic and you in the crowd watching me. Like, I'm going ham on the mic. Like, and this before, you know, the industry kind of like settles you. You have like a tolerance now, because you deal with hate on a daily basis. But that was when I was young and piped up. Like, I was extra. Let me tell you, on the mic going ham. Like, I wish I had a video, bro.
I wish I could see it.
Right.
So how do you handle, I guess, I don't know if they call them hecklers in music. I know, like, comedians, if there's somebody acting up in the crowd, they call that a heckler.
Yeah.
Maybe in music it's a hater, I don't know. But how do you deal with that nowadays? Does it even happen still?
It does. I would say it's always gonna be that, you know, them people that still try you. But like I said, the industry like helps you build this tolerance for that. Cause I used to be just like I said, I was on the mic going ham. I kind of just like overlook it now. I be like, look, in my head, like, look, you the one paid to come see me just to hate. Like, bro, I don't understand the logic. I don't understand it. But if need be, I'm never at a show by myself. So just know, like, if you get booked, they gonna handle that, period. I don't even gotta say nothing. They gonna handle that.
What was the feedback to your first show, 10 years old?
It was so dope. Like, all the kids and stuff, their parents came and picked them up. Like, they literally just got dropped off on the street. Like, they came and picked them up, like, dapping my dad up and saying thank you to my mom, and like, y'all did so good with her. Oh, now she's a rapper. And then, you know, the fact that we had threw this event for the neighborhood, and then on top of that, like, I'm the one performing and stuff. It was just like cool.
How did you rate yourself on your first show? I mean, now you might look at it different.
Yeah, now I probably rated a 0, but back then you couldn't tell me nothing. Like, I was too piped up. Like, you gotta think, like, bro, I'm in 5th grade, like, making money. Like, I was making like $30, $40 a day off candy. Like, in 5th grade, when you don't have nothing to pay for, like, no bills. I don't buy my own clothes. I don't buy my own food. My parents pay for everything. This is just free money. That's a lot of money for a 10-year-old. Like, that's a lot of money for a 10-year-old. So you couldn't really tell me nothing. Like, I already been thought I was popping. Like.
Now, was this during the school year, or was this like in the summer when school was out?
Actually, it was the last day of school, so it was even extra piped up.
Ah.
Yeah.
Now, just thinking back between then and now, what do you think your best show has been so far? Out of all the shows you've done?
I can't even narrow it down to one. An interesting show is I got booked out of the country. I performed in St. Martin. and it was at their prom. But in St. Martin, they have like, not every school has their own prom. They just have one prom at the end of the year for like the whole, because the island is so small, so they just have like every school, like they come to one prom. So it was like, their prom was in a club. They had me, they had Lil Fizz from Love and Hip Hop. It was like they go all out for their prom. Like they have like light up dresses and they pull up in like everything, like horse carriages and stuff. Like it's a big deal to them. So that was real cool. Houston showed me mad love. Arizona showed me mad love. I thought that was kind of weird. It's like, I was like, dang, is anybody even gonna show up? Like, we in Phoenix, Arizona, do they even know me out here? And it actually ended up being like one of the most turned shows. On top of American Airlines losing my luggage for that show too. So I ain't had no makeup, I ain't had no flat iron, nothing. But I still went and got that bag though, for show that.
So those have been the best cities so far that you've gotten the most love from outside of Atlanta.
Right. Yeah, I would say, yeah.
So far. What do you think your worst show's been?
My worst show?
Sometimes an artist's worst show could be their first time performing, but that doesn't sound like it was the case for you.
It could go either way. It could be worst show, like as in not a lot of people in the crowd, or worst show you feel like you didn't perform as well. But I would say my worst show, quote unquote, was, because I don't really have like bad shows anymore. I'm kind of a professional now.
Yeah, we're speaking in past tense. There might have been a show where everything went wrong.
Yeah.
You were sick, your voice was bad, the crowd was terrible. I don't know.
Yeah, in the beginning I used to have like shows like that where I was just, like if I was sick, I felt like just, I couldn't do it, you know. I wasn't like as tough. Like the industry made me tougher. So now I'm really like, if anything bad happens, like when they lost my luggage, like back then, if I couldn't get my makeup done before the show or like have on like a real nice outfit or something, I probably would have, oh my gosh, I ain't going. But now like the industry just make you tough. It's like, bro, it could be way worse than this. I've had shows where the mic go out completely and I just set it down and just start rapping with the crowd. I've had shows where the DJ is hating and they speed up the music trying to mess me up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sabotage.
I've had shows where I forgot my lyrics. I mean, I feel like it's just, as an artist, the stage should be your home. Like, nothing should feel uncomfortable on stage. And if it does, then just let the crowd know. I'd be like, look, y'all, he's speeding up my music, so I'm finna try to catch up, because you know what I'm saying? Like, it should be your comfort zone. So it's nothing really bad.
Sounds like you've almost done every worst show or every worst thing that could happen, I guess.
Yeah, almost tripped on stage, threw up like 2 seconds after I walked off the stage. Yeah. How
do you perform when you're sick?
Oh my gosh, it's
How
annoying.
do you get through that?
It's annoying because, like, the nasally sound, like, you don't even want to hear yourself talk, let alone perform for a crowd when you have, like, a nasally, like, stopped up. And I have allergies, so it's, like, kind of often. But I've performed with the flu before, like.
The real flu?
The real flu.
Not
like,
the baby flu.
As soon as I stepped off stage, I threw up, like, the real flu. Crying, like I kept my glasses on because I'm crying while I'm performing, like,
wow.
in pain. But the industry make you tough, bro. And then on top of that, like, my daddy, like, that's how I got that, like, hustle, like, go get a mentality in me. Like, he like, oh, you gonna cry or you gonna get this money? Which one? I'm like, I'm gonna get the money. I'm gonna get the money. You know, so I mean, so it is what it is.
Sometimes it can be, you can catch a cold and your voice is like changing levels of.
Wow, you're rapping.
It's hoarse and then it's back to normal and then it's,
Been and done that. Like, when I tell you, I don't even know what, I guess maybe completely, like 100% falling on stage is the only thing I haven't experienced. God forbid, I don't want to do that. But I have tripped, so I don't know. Even if I do, I'm going to get right back up. Be like, y'all, look, don't tag me in them videos later. I don't want to see this on World Star later. I don't care, bro.
But statistically, that's probably inevitable. That's probably has to happen at least one time.
Yeah, my dad, he's so into numbers. He like, don't let this be the one time you fall on stage. You know, you done did da-da-da many shows now. You know, so he, you know, it's going to happen, bro. Like, whenever I fall on stage, y'all come back to this video and be like, hey, she don't even care. It ain't even no point in embarrassing her about it.
Now, has there been ever a point when it comes to performing sick where you just absolutely could not perform? Or have you, every time you've been sick, you still perform?
I don't think I've ever had, there's not performing, but when I'm sick, I can't go to the studio. I absolutely am not going to record sounding like that. Actually, Zaytoven, I was supposed to be on the sorority thing with Zaytoven, all the females, but I was sick. I couldn't do it. Studio-wise, yeah, I will skip out on the session when I'm sick, but never a performance.
Okay, somebody watching this, let's say they're about to have their first show. They're about to perform at their first show.
Yeah.
Okay. Any advice for that person about to perform at their first show?
Number one, don't have your mama, your cousin, your baby daddy, baby mama, third cousin, all them folks on stage with you, bro. No. It need to just be you on stage. I was never trained on the come up, like never, like, bro, you get on that stage by yourself. I think you look insecure when you do that. Like, I'm scared to get on stage. Like, I'm a grown man, 30-something years old, scared to get on stage by myself. I'm not a fan of that. I don't want to see nobody on stage but you. Please don't do that. 2, know all your words, please. Like, the first performance, nobody gonna cut you slack just because it's your first performance. They don't know that it's your first performance in the crowd. So just try to keep everything on point. Lyrics, stage clear of everybody except yourself. Third thing, do not cuff the mic, bro. If you're an artist, you know what I'm talking about. Like, there's this line around the mic. Don't pass that line with your hand. People be like yelling at the DJ and stuff like, bro, why it sound like this, bro? Move your hand. Don't kiss the mic. I don't know why you trying to kiss the mic, bro. Move your hand down. I don't know. That's a habit for a lot of people. Other than that, just have fun. Like, don't stress it. It need to look like you're having fun on stage or nobody gonna rock with you.